It's fantastic to be back with another fresh episode of Gist Nigeria, brought to you by the BBC and Channels Television. Here we track stories online in the news and dissect them. I am Wali Fakile. Let's start with our top story. Women in all fields of endeavour are challenging every stereotype that limits them from achieving success. From traditional leadership to extreme sports, construction to engineering, the story is changing every day. As we round off the month of March and in the spirit of the International Women's Day, Gist Nigeria's Mercy Frank looks at some Nigerian women who are pushing boundaries and forcing society to rethink gender roles and expectations.
Women who have long fought to break into worlds built to suit men.
My reign would be one of the best the community experienced.
Often silenced, overlooked, and expected to conform.
When I walk in the street, for example, and they see me, they're like, oh my God, I never see somebody with a body like you.
Even though they say you have to be a man or whatever, the feminine side still comes to play.
They choose to live by a different set of rules. Monarchies across Nigeria are male-dominated. Rarely would you find women play such roles. Her Royal Majesty Tinuade Babalola Ayomikun is one of those women who lived in that rarity. Upon her father's passing in 2015, she had to step into his shoes to reign in the interim over Iburupa Akoko in southwestern Nigeria's Ondo State. She says her 6-year reign came with bitter pills.
People underestimated me a lot. They thought that I was just a figurehead. The people calling the shots were behind the scenes somewhere. I was just there, but it wasn't like that. I took part in major community decision making as well.
Bodybuilding isn't for the faint of heart. Yet, Adibola, a French-Nigerian, former air hostess, and a supplement store owner embraced the sport wholeheartedly. The muscle stretch, the pains, the sweat. She took it all in to have a healthy life, choosing not to dwell on the lows.
Men, it's like they will not make it easy for you, I don't want to enter into details, but, it's like they don't make it easy for you. That's what I would say. But you just have to be, stronger than them and see above it.
Just like Tinuade and Adibola, Funmi recognizes that working in the male-dominated space requires a lot of resilience. From working on construction sites to mapping out building strategies, most times as the only woman in the room, she describes her 10-year engineering journey as sometimes frustrating.
It's mentally tasking. You just have to build yourself up and be like, I can do this. In school, we were about 12 in the class, and out of the 12 of us, 4 of us were female, 4 of us were women studying architecture. And I can tell you for a fact that as of today, I know of only 2 who are still in the industry, who are still practicing.
In a world where roles and expectations are defined by gender, these women sometimes have to work twice as hard to prove what they can bring to the table.
It took me 10 years to achieve this body, so it's not you in 1 month that you will achieve this body. It takes time, it takes discipline, it takes commitment.
My life wasn't just mine, that I had to live for the people, knowing that, whatever decision that I make, at the back of my mind, I know that I have to make sure that it reflects, positively on the lives of the people.
Command control, command respect in the industry, because, it is part of who we are.
A 2023 report from the United Nations Women shows that at the current rate of progress, it will take 286 years for the world to achieve gender equality. The impact of silencing women's voices across these industries comes with dire consequences. Ibuan Okasaibo is attempting to change the narrative. His Nigerian-based construction company is giving more voices to women, especially in decision-making roles.
We had top management with women in majority. We had 40% men, 60% women. In a construction company, that's strange. And then coming to the board, we just had to, we changed our board this year, but before then we had a female chairperson. We had 3 women on the board of 7.
One of the sectors that is witnessing rising female voices in management is banking. With 25 commercial banks in Nigeria, the number of female bank chief executive officers soared from just 1 in 2019 to 10 in 2024. 2 of the major banks have also had 2 women board chairpersons. This result did not come easy. Hansatu Adigbite represents a group focused on amplifying women's voices across all sectors. Benga Totoyi is a human development professional of about 2 decades. They explain some of the drawbacks that need to be dealt with to create room for more progress.
Our labor laws in Nigeria do not permit women to work in factories and so at night. So what that means is that there are certain women that cannot rise above a certain level or threshold within the organization to attain leadership.
From a male standpoint, when we talked about women in the past, just being given more opportunities and the likes, the focus was more on just representation. It was just more representation, and then women lost focus on competent representation.
Just like other sectors, disruption is impacting gender matters.
Gender is now on everybody's agenda. You know, it wasn't like 30 or 40 or 50 years ago when everybody was hush-hush. I think what people have begun to realize is that a lot of people now can reject a brand on account of lack of diversity.
With all these efforts being made, experts say there seems to be some level of self-sabotage.
Even if the opportunity is internal, the guy is the first to make a move, make a demand. It's almost by default, but for the women folk, they would rather be waiting to be given the opportunity.
The fight for gender equality, especially in male-dominated spaces, could linger, no thanks to common myths and misconceptions that are disturbingly louder than the results women have shown. One of the misconceptions is that women are less assertive, making them unsuitable for leadership roles.
Absolutely not. I tell you, my best people are women. Honestly, I'll give you an example. When a woman moved to the CFO role in my company, things changed. I was surprised. The first meeting we had, she stood firm, made it clear.
Another loud misconception is that women working in these fields lack femininity.
We are 100% feminine. Like, I wear my dress, I go out, I socialize with my friend. Women can have as well muscle and be feminine in the same time. It can happen.
A lot of female architects have families. They are married, they have their kids.
So we've had situations where women need to take time off to have children. We let them go, and we welcome them whenever they're ready to come back.
But some say women are too emotional and can't handle pressure.
I could give you various examples where I've had to be the calming balm in situations where we have men's egos clashing on site, during meetings.
I've worked with some women who wouldn't budge, and who are better at managing this thing.
Another common misconception is that women face less sexism or harassment in these industries as they become established.
What I have come to realize is that the minute that you have those feminine contents, you attract any kind of attention.
As these women rewrite the narrative, their hopes remain as bold as their challenges.
I believe that we can have women in top positions. We should also consider the women at the grassroots.
Maybe one day we'll do a competition, bodybuilding competition for women, like what we're going to see in Nigeria, yes.
I hope that we have more women in these spaces so that we don't call them male-dominated industries anymore. There is a balance.
This year's International Women's Month theme, Inspire Inclusion, serves as a reminder that a diverse workforce is a stronger workforce, and a more equitable society benefits everyone. Mercy Frank, Gist Nigeria.
Interesting. Go, ladies. Now, what are you doing to celebrate the women in your world? Share your story with us on X at Gist Nigeria TV. We'd like to hear from you.